Hi everyone, my name is Tyler Vo and I'm a senior at Stanford University. And today I'll be doing a product analysis of my favorite app, Twitter. Before I jump into an analysis of this product, let me first give a brief overview of what Twitter is. Twitter is one of the largest social media platforms with millions of users across the globe. Users share and engage with content also known as tweets. These tweets form a type of microblog where users can document their thoughts and opinions, which is viewable on a user's profile. A unique part of Twitter is the fact that every tweet is limited to 280 characters. Users can follow one another to see their tweets on their feed page. Additionally, users can see content outside of their follower circle by exploring trending tweets. So you might be asking, why of all products would I have chosen Twitter? Recently, I've been invested in Twitter because of how culturally relevant it is today given the 2020 election. As some quick examples, Twitter has been criticized for being a vehicle in the Russian election meddling and also being the birthplace of cancel culture. Consequently, these tech giants have had a spotlight placed on them because of the responsibility in balancing free speech and the integrity of our election. Aside from being culturally relevant, I really appreciate Twitter for its thoughtfulness around its user psychology. The 280 word count, the ability to quote retweet, and its censorship of hate speech has incentivized users to responsibly use the platform. And of course, I just absolutely love Twitter. I use the product to learn about politics and also use it for entertainment. The major problem that Twitter has is the fact that its feed page and specific incentives in the app has created an echo chamber of ideas. So to elaborate, echo chambers are insulated digital environments where users' ideas are echoed back to themselves as a result of who they're following. So if I'm following friends that all think the same way as me, my feed page will only include self-validating tweets. This has resulted in censorship of different ideas, a lack of novelty in a user's feed page as a result of seeing the same type of content, and a radicalization of ideas. These have had pretty major implications on the US election. Specifically, these echo chambers has resulted in an absence of decorum in debates and discussions and has also manifested extreme political views. This has been cited in research papers and news articles, and Jack Dorsey, the founder of Twitter, has also mentioned that this is one of the biggest challenges that the company faces. Before we talk about how we can solve this problem, it's important to understand how and why this problem exists. The main issue is that Twitter's feed page is completely follower-based. This means you only see the content that is tweeted by your followers, or you will see tweets that your followers have liked or retweeted. We can model this idea as a social graph. We can see that each node is a user and the edges is the following relationship that a user might have with another user. As an example, let's say all of the alphabetical users are interested in dogs and they all follow each other. The numerical users are all interested in cats, and they also follow each other. Because no alphabetical user follows a numerical user, they will never be exposed to one another. So we can solve this problem by exposing users to content outside of their cluster. If we're able to create these bridges between these clusters, users will be exposed to novel content. Because we don't have data on user interaction and we have not conducted any user interviews, we can draw inspiration in other companies, specifically TikTok and Target. A unique part about TikTok is that its feed is completely based off a user's interest. The algorithm collects telemetry data to show what the user wants to see. To elaborate, telemetry data is data about whether or not you opened a tweet, liked a tweet, or opened up a user's profile. Every now and then, TikTok introduces videos that are outside a person's interest web to test and see if a user will engage with the content. The key insight that we can utilize is that users might be interested in content outside of their social cluster. They just don't know it yet. Another company we can find inspiration in is my personal favorite retail store, Target. Target makes an enjoyable shopping experience by balancing novelty and familiarity. As an example, you go to Target with the intention of getting detergent. As you go down the aisles and find the detergent, you find a cleaning tool that you've never seen before. You're elated to see the item you want to buy, but you're also excited to see something new. The insight that we can get is that we can maximize a user's enjoyment of content by striking a balance between these two qualities. We can see, based off this spectrum, that too much familiarity is too boring and too much novelty is too overwhelming. So let's take a moment and rethink how the feed page is currently structured in Twitter. Currently, the feed page shows tweets chronologically, including tweets from followers, tweets that your followers engaged with, and promoted tweets, also known as ads. A possible solution is to include a fourth type of tweet called a For You tweet. These For You tweets would be content outside of your normal social cluster, and it would be intelligently chosen to maximize a user's engagement. These tweets will act as a bridge to novel content and new communities, and it will expose users to opinions outside of their social cluster. And most importantly, it will encourage new followings. Let's dive into some of the requirements for this product improvement. Firstly, the users will be presented with this For You tweet in their feed page. The users should be notified that these are unique types of tweets that are algorithmically generated. Lastly, users should see these For You tweets infrequently. Some nice to have features is that users will be able to flag content they don't want to see. Lastly, users should have some easy entry point to have the author to follow the author of these For You tweets. This is an essential part of the product improvement because the objective of these new For You tweets is to widen someone's social cluster. So having some quick and easy access point to new followings would be very crucial for this product improvement. These For You tweets will be generated based off an algorithm. To quickly go over some of the engineering requirements, the algorithm should firstly have all tweets be grouped and tagged based off certain interest. This is an essential component so that all tweets can be bucketed based off certain groups. So if I tweeted something about dogs, and if someone else tweeted something about cats, those respective tweets should have some tag that relates them to a larger group / bucket for cats and dogs. Secondly, telemetry data must be recorded with every tweet a user engages with. Did the user open the tweet? Did they like it? Did they comment on other people's tweets? With this information, the algorithm should aggregate the data and present the best For You tweet that will have the highest probability for user engagement. Additionally, the algorithm will ultimately introduce when to present these For You tweets to users, specifically trying to balance those ideas of familiarity and novelty. Lastly, every now and then, these new tweets outside of the interest circle should be introduced. This is key in making sure that new types of tweets outside a user's interest circle, are introduced. As we proceed with the product improvement, it is key to take into consideration the following factors. Firstly, the For You tweets need to balance novelty and familiarity. Secondly, the For You tweets should not disrupt the existing experience that Twitter users have. This product should be seamlessly integrated into the feed page. And lastly, the privacy and data collection of the telemetry data should be transparently communicated with its users. Users may be concerned about how the For You tweet is generated, and providing that information is important in making sure that every user knows what data is being collected from them. To finish this presentation, I wanted to go over a few metrics I would record. To measure the success of this product improvement, I would first measure the increase in the number of followers outside someone's social circles. And I would record the increase in number of tweets the users engage with that are outside a social circle. This will ultimately measure whether or not we are accomplishing our goal of diversifying a user's feed page. Secondly, I would measure the percentage of people engaging with these novel tweets and the percentage of people that flag the For You tweets as something they don't want to see. This will measure the success of the algorithm and whether or not it is producing content that is worthwhile for users. That concludes my presentation. Thank you so much for listening, and I look forward to hearing back from you.